Something to always consider is that the breakthrough that you are looking for is on the other side of the wall that you have built up. The breakthrough that you're looking for, it's on the other side of the wall that you've built up. Remember the Bible, it says that Joshua fought the battle of Jericho and the walls came tumbling down. When they went around, God told him to go around, keep going around, keep going on. The walls came tumbling down. Sometimes within our own lives, we have to be going around, going back to that situation and asking yourself, okay, God, what is it that I've potentially missed in this particular thing that is causing me to be feeling stuck? Because you may be feeling that you're feeling stuck in a particular situation, but sometimes it requires you to be able to sit with that and understand, what is it I am missing in here? What is it that I need to spend a little bit more time to understand? Why am I keep saying no? What if this opportunity comes again and this time I say yes? On the other side of that wall sometimes is your breakthrough. Your yes to that, saying, you know what, I am going to not sit here and keep saying no to this particular circumstance that is coming up or opportunity that's coming up. I am going to choose to say yes to this.
Walking in my own shoes.
Hello, I'm Kellie Cadogan, vocal life coach, and welcome to another episode of the Down to Earth podcast. I am looking forward to sharing with you all that God has in store for you today. Now, we've been discussing that a strong vision requires intention, but there are times when your strong vision requiring intention, you can put yourself in a situation, or we can put ourselves in situations where we are actually working against ourselves by doing something that may come easy for some of us, which is building up walls. So, today I want to encourage you to be intentional about pulling down the walls. And the walls I'm talking about the walls with relation to past hurts, past traumas, things that you're possibly still dealing with. So very often you are believing God, you have that, your mindset is shifting, you've been working on it, you've been doing all the next right steps in terms of your vision, how am I thinking, what is my belief system? But what can tend to happen is that things that have taken place in our past, and even some things within our very present future, what can happen sometimes is that you're believing God for a particular thing to happen, but because of what's happened in the past, a week ago, 4 years ago, 15 years ago, what can happen is that you say no to the next thing to happen because what has happened in the past is causing you to blur your vision a bit. And I want to encourage you today to be intentional about pulling down the walls. But the only way that we can be intentional about pulling down these walls that can be creating challenges or creating stopping us from seeing through a strong vision requiring intention is if we take time to sit back and ask ourselves, what is my intention? Am I very clear about what my intention is? And once we take that process, when these circumstances appear or these opportunities can come up, it's important to go back to, okay, right now in the season that I am in, was my intention? Does this particular opportunity, or what presents itself as an opportunity, because very often the word opportunity can be used very loosely. So always be very mindful of that with relation to, is this opportunity that is coming towards me, when I look at what my intention is it lining up with what my intention is based on the things that I believe that I am where I'm supposed to be now and where I am going? Always feel free and to take time to ask yourself these questions before you jump into something to say yes or jump into something to say no. And spend time before God asking Him, okay, Lord, help me to understand if this is something that you've called me to do. Now, something to always consider is that the breakthrough that you are looking for is on the other side of the wall that you have built up. The breakthrough that you're looking for, it's on the other side of the wall that you've built up. Remember the Bible, it says that Joshua fought the battle of Jericho and the walls came tumbling down. And they went around. God told him to go around, keep going around, keep going on. The walls came tumbling down. Sometimes within our own lives, we have to be going around, going back to that situation and asking yourself, okay, God, what is it that I've potentially missed in this particular thing that is causing me to be feeling stuck? Because you may be feeling that you're feeling stuck in a particular situation, but sometimes it requires you to be able to sit with that and understand, what is it I am missing in here? What is it that I need to spend a little bit more time to understand? Why am I keep saying no? What if this opportunity comes again and this time I say yes? On the other side of that wall sometimes is your breakthrough. Your yes to that, saying, you know what? I am going to not sit here and keep saying no to this particular circumstance that is coming up or opportunity that's coming up. I am going to choose to say yes to this. And as I like to say with people, sometimes when you're in circumstances where you have these situations, it's either you go back to that element of, what's my intention? What is my intention? Get really clear, and be specific about the elements of the intention, because a strong vision requires intention. A strong vision requires intentionality. These are areas that we should focus on with relation to being posed with situations or opportunities, business wise, personal wise. Go back to what you've written with relation to, this is what my intention is, and is it lining up? Is it coming into to play with relation to what I know it is, where I am going, or am I just saying yes because everybody else is saying yes? Ask yourself those questions. And sometimes saying yes may mean that it may be something that it might be less, or for you, it may be something that it might be more. But it's not about what other people are saying. It depends on what it is that God has called you to do in that particular moment. Are you saying yes out of fear? Or are you saying yes out of faith? Are you saying no out of fear? Or are you saying no out of faith? Ask yourself these questions. Go before God and put these things before Him. And the last thing I'm going to share with you is, sometimes the yes, I'm not focusing only on the yes, because the no is also important, because you have to know what the intention is. But very, very, very often, the things that you're believing God for, the particular thing sometimes requires you to say yes. And sometimes saying yes to something takes you outside of your box. The yes, sometimes it may mean traveling to a different country, or taking that job that, it may not look as if it makes sense right now, but based on what is listed there in my intentions, if I take that step, it will lead me closer there. So going outside the box, try something that is different. As we are coming on to the end of the year, a lot of people like to have vision board is a big thing now. People are preparing to do vision board parties for the next year. And as a result of that, very, very often you're finding yourself making down, what is my intention? This is a perfect time to be able to do an exercise like this. And therefore, ask yourself, is this leading towards these next steps, leading towards my vision? Is this thing here there? Is it taking me left? Is it taking me right? But beyond that, the question I always say come back down to, is this going to bring me closer to my relationship with God, or is it going to take me further from my relationship with God? And that's always a great foundational element to have right there. How is my relationship with God going to grow in the process and the decision to either say yes or to say no where you are at? So remember that a strong vision requires intention. And our scripture for today is Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1, which says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I hope that this has been helpful for you today, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you again when I see you next time. Bye-bye.
So many times you said I can't do it.